So I finally have finished editing all of the various videos that I have slated to release that have nothing to do with Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. So I think it's about time that I hop back into a routine and make some videos about Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. Now, before I spin the roulette wheel, this video was recorded on June 2nd, 2024. And yesterday, the Godzilla Save the Earth Melee Twitter account, at Godzilla STE on Twitter, which you definitely need to follow, and if you've heard me tell you that before, you need to, get on that. They posted the following pictures. MOGUERA has been totally remodeled and retextured, which tells me they're working on him. Obviously, we haven't seen any gameplay of MOGUERA at this point that I'm recording the video by, but this tells me that they're farther along in a lot of things than I thought they were. Now, this video is probably going to come out way down the pipeline, so I don't know obviously what the future holds at the time of recording this video, but I just wanted to bring it up. This does not guarantee that MOGUERA is the monster manual that we're going to be covering today, but as my previous videos have no doubt shown at this point, whenever I say I'm not going to be covering a particular monster for the monster manuals, I end up having to cover that monster. But yeah, so I'm just going to cycle through these different renders. I believe this pose is based on an animation that was in Godzilla Unleashed as one of the gallery things. It's MOGUERA doing a funny dance. And I believe this one is based off of his render in Godzilla Save the Earth proper, vanilla. But yeah, that's probably way old news at this point, but that's when I recorded this video. That was yesterday. So I just wanted to show it. If you go back on the community tab on my YouTube channel, you can see that I also made a post about it on that day, which for me, the guy who's talking right now, that was me today. But obviously, like I said, I don't know which monster we're going to talk about today. We're going to let the wheel decide, as we usually do. It's rather fitting that the MOGUERA slice on this is blue, just like MOGUERA. The parts of him that are blue. So, as of recording this video, we have MOGUERA, Biollante, Mothra and Mothra Leo, Baragon, and Megaguirus left to talk about, and their manuals are the ones we still have to go over. Like I said, because I'm recording this in the past, I highly recommend that you check out the monster manuals if you haven't already. Like I said, this is going to be coming out way past when I record it, but that's just the wonders of technology for you people. There will likely be revisions to many of the manuals I've already done videos on at this point. I know that they released new renders of the Showa Godzilla a couple weeks back maybe, so I'm probably going to have to record videos to kind of retouch upon other characters, and hell, if they do another presentation, I'm going to be doing another reaction / analysis video for that. But anyway, let's quit bullshitting. Let me actually click the wheel. Could have been a worse choice, if I'm being honest. I find it interesting that Baragon already has a Godzilla Save the Earth official quote-unquote render. It looks kind of blocky, but I mean, who knows? I believe this has been there since the beginning of the monster manuals, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's gotten retouched up since they put these out. It's always surreal to me that the first thing that Baragon ever appeared in was Frankenstein Conquers the World. And that's definitely something that if you told it to a non-hardcore Godzilla fan or Kaiju fan, they'd be like, what in the hell are you talking about? He appeared in Ireland before he got captured. I hope that's an actual, deep cut lore thing that I just didn't know until now. Oh, damn, okay, so the Vortok infiltrated Monster Island's security measures. And I guess their Organizer G1 devices, according to this, drive the monsters mad, angering them and causing them to escape. Okay. Astonishingly fast burrowing abilities. I imagine, even though we haven't gotten to the moveset yet, I imagine that means they're probably buffing his burrow speed, which was laughably slow in the vanilla game. Okay, moveset time. Why is the Godzilla 2014 trailer on the moveset page for Baragon? I'm not watching that. I've already seen it. It's good, but it has nothing to do with Baragon. Why is it here? here. The digging quadruped Baragon is an acrobatic and Shoto-like short-range fighter. I appreciate, before I read on, that the term Shoto was used in this manual. Hopefully people will know what that means. That basically means the like Ryu and Ken and Akuma archetype of fighters from the Street Fighter series. Is Dan considered a Shoto? Okay, he has long-winded ground combos. Oh, I love this. I remember this vaguely. So, you can't see it. I've got my eyes closed because I don't want to spoil myself, but I'm pretty sure the way that Baragon's burrowing is going to work is that, well, not only is he going to be faster almost undoubtedly, but I'm assuming if you hold a certain button or something, the opponent's not going to be able to see or hear you burrowing. So, I guess it'll introduce an element of stealth to his gameplay and basically make it harder to tell where Baragon is, which I imagine would be incredibly useful in a competitive setting, but also probably extremely frustrating to your opponent. Okay, and he's going to be able to move faster while you're masking his position. Oh, yeah. His horn is going to be like a beacon, like you'll be able to hop it out of the ground to kind of relocate yourself if you forget where you are, but at the same time, your opponent will also be able to see that, and then they'll be able to adjust their strategy based on where you are. I never thought I'd see the day where Baragon's burrowing would gain such strategic depth. His fire breath can also be replaced with his secondary special lightning zap. I'm just gonna assume that that's from Frankenstein Conquers the World, because I know for a fact he doesn't do that in GMK, and he basically does nothing in any of the Showa movies that aren't Frankenstein Conquers the World, so I can only imagine that's what that is from. Good, they're keeping his rage attack. Baragon had one of the best rage attacks in the base game anyway, so... That's right. Well, I won't talk about that until I get to the skins. That last sentence. Okay, so they already gave away one of his skins. And like I said, there's probably going to be additions to the monster manuals between the time I record this video on June 2nd and when this video comes out. But even while reading this, I was already getting ideas of what they could do. So let's see. Okay, so his base skin is going to be based on 1965 Baragon, the Showa appearance. But he's also going to have the 2001 GMK version. I'm going to skip the next one. I'm going to talk about that in a sec. Double Smash Baragon. Like I said in my Double Smash skins video way back, this is one of the only skins from Double Smash that I feel like even if you couldn't just easy peasy port them, like has been described by Goji Rex, this one's good enough to include. And then the Save the Earth Classic model. Okay, so the one that I skipped over, C Baragon. I just want to say I am so glad that the development team for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee is taking the time to develop alternate skins that represent the manga versions of these characters. Because if not, I guarantee Toho would never incorporate C Baragon into anything ever. And you'd only know about it through Wikizilla and like repositories of Godzilla trivia on the internet. So the fact that C Baragon is going to be one of his many costumes in Save the Earth Melee, huge ups to the dev team. Because without you, I don't even know if we'd ever see C Baragon in anything. I'm glad Save the Earth Classic is going to be in there. Did I already say that? You probably did. Okay, now comes the part where we put the automatic video editor to the test, and I look on the Wikizilla page for Baragon to see what skins you could give to him in this game. And in all likelihood, the development team has already thought of many of these, so I'll look like a dumbass, but you know, I recorded this in the past, leave me alone. I do have one off the top of my head that I really think would be awesome. I don't expect it, but we'll get to it. I'll talk about it when we get there. Sorry about that, I didn't have an artwork up of Baragon. Full credit to Dope Hope. He made this artwork. It's like a 3D model of Baragon. I just wanted to have something up on the screen because I might talk while I'm going through this Wikizilla article. Well, that's rather disappointing that he was only in Destroy All Monsters, so there's no like alternate Showa versions of him like there were for Varan. And he didn't show up in any of the Heisei movies, and he was only in GMK, and he was absent from anything else in the Millennium millennium era. Why do my neighbors have the bass turned up in their car? Can anyone answer me that question? Okay, so we're going to talk about these in order of least ludicrous to most ludicrous. This is Baragon's sprite from Godzilla 2 War of the Monsters on the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES. I was gonna say this might overlap with my third suggestion, but it's a very lime green color scheme, so I don't know, I could see this one. This one might work. It'd be different enough from the other skins to incorporate it. Okay, this one's a little silly, but this was Baragon on the Godzilla show. He's wearing like a suit and a bow tie. This one's really kind of stupid, but I didn't know about this until I just looked at it on the Wikizilla and I was like, oh hell yeah, this would be amazing. The only reason I suggest it is that I know they're doing Gigan's mom, and that was also in the Godzilla show. So business attire Baragon would probably be kind of funny. I'd play it at least once. Plus, I mean, he's got a lighter skin tone, so you could always do like a lighter shade Baragon aside from this. Okay, now this one is technically an Ultraman monster by the name of Naranga. And I know this one because, as I've said before on this channel, while Dad was still alive, at one point we watched all of the classic Ultraman series together, and this is one of the opponents for Ultraman in that show. He showed up in a single episode. I don't know how commonly he has reappeared in later Ultraman series, but I would imagine he's probably appeared at least a few times because the first generation of anything, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Godzilla, Ultraman, whatever, tends to beat the audience to death with how much it comes back. So, and I know he's gotten at least one or two modern appearances and a new suit. The reason I suggested this one at all is because Eiji Tsuburaya took many of the suits that he made for the Godzilla films and repurposed them for the Ultraman series because that was his baby. And I'm pretty sure the Baragon suit was what was used to make Naranga. Now, I didn't think about this until I read the manual, but if they're giving Baragon a lightning horn ability, that sounds awfully familiar to an ability that Naranga had in the classic Ultraman show. So that would probably be a good pick for that reason, and I'm pretty sure Naranga can burrow just like Baragon can. Sorry, our new guinea pig Callisto wanted to be part of the video. You want to say hi to the viewers? I think she's scared of Naranga. He tried to burrow in her cage to run away from me, so maybe she's Baragon's apprentice. Anyway, while I was scrolling through the images on my computer, I had a thought. Let me do a little bit of Wikizilla research here real quick, and then I'll talk about it after. Okay, so my suspicions were confirmed. This is Bertanis from the Dark Horse Godzilla comic, and to be honest, it looks rather generic. If you look up a full body picture of it, it's not very inspired, but it looks rather Baragon-esque. And the reason I didn't want to say that this was a surefire suggestion is I didn't remember what its abilities were because I think it appeared in like a single issue of that comic. According to Wikizilla, it cannot burrow, but it has the ability to generate electrical current and then use that offensively. Which, what does that sound similar to? Just like I said with Naranga. Naranga had electrical abilities, and even though I don't think Bertanis had any, like, beam weapons made of electricity, you could make the leap that this could be a skin for Baragon. Baragon's definitely going to be very agile in combat, which I don't think Bertanis really was. I imagine, if I recall correctly, it was pretty much a tank, but it just occurred to me while going through my pictures that I have saved on my computer that this might work. Oh, wait a minute. It has, like, a really big spiked tail. It wouldn't really work as like a one-to-one representation of Bertanis, but maybe a color scheme based on Bertanis, like maybe have like an altered face on the model. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I got my hopes up. I forgot what it looked like. It really wasn't in the comic that long. That's why I didn't remember that. Also, there was an informational booklet released in Japan only called Godzilla Tokyo SOS Super Complete Works, which according to Wikizilla included like a horde of mechanical kaiju, including what could be described described as a Mecha Baragon, so maybe that would be a decent one. I honestly couldn't see Mecha Baragon in the low quality image scan of the page where that supposedly is, but I mean, hey, it's worth bringing up. I didn't even know that was a thing, and Mecha Baragon would be kinda cool. Anyway, so overall thoughts on Baragon within Save the Earth Melee. I think Baragon is going to massively benefit from the kind of focus on competitive aspects. I mean, the fact that they even mentioned the Shotos and being similar to a Shoto in Baragon's manual gives me a lot of faith in this character and how he's going to be kind of changed up for Save the Earth Melee. I know that Baragon was planned to be in the PlayStation 2 version of Destroy All Monsters Melee, which ended up getting canceled. So unfortunately, we don't have any real way of knowing how he would have played in Destroy All Monsters Melee proper, but I can imagine that being a kind of motif or background sound for how Goji Rex and the team designed Baragon within this game. I mean, obviously, Melee's not in the title of this for no reason, but you guys probably see what I mean when I say that. Like I said, I'm glad they're going to keep his rage attack in there. I won't lie, I'm kind of hyped by the prospect that Naranga could end up being a skin for Baragon in this game. I know he's an Ultraman Kaiju, and he's not like one of the ones that everybody knows, but I'd be kind of cool with that. It's also worth noting that they're going to be reusing Baragon's like jumping grab, kind of like a pounce. That's going to be used on Varan, so I'm glad they're keeping that, because obviously that's one of the only things that was unique to Baragon, because obviously like Megalon can burrow as well, so the grab was kind of Baragon's thing. But I'm glad they're kind of changing it up a little bit so that it's still his thing, even if other people can do it. That does make me wonder though. We haven't dealt with Biollante yet, but how is Baragon and now also Varan's pounce grab going to work on Biollante? If I recall correctly, in the Vanilla Save the Earth, I think there were conditions where if you tried to grab an opponent, but for some reason or another, Baragon couldn't go through with the grab, he'd kind of just like do a backflip. I don't remember very well. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think about the prospect of Baragon in Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. Tell me what you think of the skins I came up with. Any of the ones that you might have ideas for that I didn't broach. We're getting down to the wire here. We only have a few more monster manuals to cover, but I will talk to you guys in the next video.